Come dive under the waterline with us today as we scrub the hull of our 36-foot sailboat. It's always a dreaded job, but the hardest part is really just getting started. In the end, it's a rewarding chore, and we get the added benefit of a great full-body workout. Barrett and I use a hookah rig to clean the hull. A hookah rig is a hose and regulator attached to a dive tank on the surface of the dock or on the boat. We try to tag team the job, and one of us will be on the hookah rig working on the prop, shaft, and deep water areas of the hull, and the other one is scrubbing the waterline down to about 3 feet of depth. The waterline can be done with just a snorkel and a mask. We store our dive tank on our boat and refill it every couple of months. We can get 2 to 3 cleanings out of a 1-tank fill, and it costs about $10 to fill up the tank with compressed air. On this day, I had to get the tank filled at our local dive shop, so that's where I started.
It's heavier. Air's heavy.
Tools for scrubbing the hull. Various things that we use. This is for cleaning closer to the water line. It's a suction cup that grabs onto the hull and then it gives you something to hold on to as you're swimming around to do the water line. So like this edge right here, which you can see it gets a little furrier down the back, but we can at least get a couple feet down just with a snorkel and a mask so that we're not having to use our air. It doesn't waste the air. These are some scrapers that we use. Sandpaper. I also like to use these. Those work really well. I'll use these for a through hole, and then different pieces of carpet for the actual sides of the hole. And then of course I always have my zincs out just in case I need one for the shaft and one for the rudder. I don't always need to replace them, but I like to have them out just in case. Dive belt. Fins, snorkel, gloves, earplugs, mask. I wear a cap so that my hair doesn't get all gross. And then the hookah rig. I'm wearing Barrett slippers, so I have to use these booties. Makes them fit better. Got my hookah rig strapped up into my belt, so it keeps it kind of where I want it. Check out what Barrett's doing. This cleaning was done in late April. It had been almost 2 full months since the last cleaning. So this first look will give you a good idea of the amount of growth we had after that time. We were also in the middle of a red tide, so the water is pretty murky and almost looks milky during this cleaning.
Here I'm mostly using the plastic spatula to scrape the prop and the shaft, just to get the big chunks of growth off. I can then use either a 3M scrubby pad or a light grit sandpaper to get the stubborn spots. You can see the zinc on the shaft, and it's pretty whole still, with not too much corrosion, so we didn't have to change them on this round. For the hull, it generally takes a light swipe with a carpet remnant to get the algae removed. We had our bottom paint done in Ensenada, Mexico, at Baja Naval Marina about 3 years ago. They took the bottom paint down to the fiberglass and did an excellent job on a new bottom coat. We expect to take it back down there for another round of bottom paint next year. Again, the zincs looked okay on this round, so we did not have to change them. Here's a look after the majority of the work is done, after about 20 to 30 minutes. It looks pretty good and we're happy with this. It doesn't need to be perfect. So now fast forward to about 1.5 months later. It's now early June. So you can see the growth that has accumulated just over 6 weeks, and the water's been warming up. The red tide has dissipated too, so the water is definitely more clear than it was before. With the warming of the water, we start to see different types of growth on the hull, and these tubular worm things start growing in the summer months. This cleaning looks pretty good, and we will now be moving up to a 3-week cleaning interval during the summer months. We've been cleaning the hull of our sailboat for a few years now. We paid for the service for a few years and then decided it's best for our peace of mind to be able to maintain it ourselves. We get to see firsthand how the hull, through holes, shaft, prop, rudder, and zincs are doing. We can also keep an eye on when the job actually needs to be done and address it as needed, rather than paying for a monthly service of hull cleaning and zinc replacements when it maybe isn't quite necessary. For example, in the winter months when the water's cooler, we can get away with maybe 2 months or even longer in between cleanings. In the spring and summer, we need to do it about every 3 weeks. The more you rub on the paint, the more the paint dissolves away, which is what you don't want. We really just want the big chunks removed to keep the large growth away.
Ooh, what the heck?
Please subscribe and look for more overlanding, boating adventures, how-to projects, and more from our channel, On a Slow Boat Fast Moto. Thanks for joining.